Is the recording? There you go. Awesome. So thanks again. Once again, I'm Sharice Richards, and I'm here with my colleague, Avi Prasad. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Manisha, to partner with you. And as you mentioned, we are here on behalf of Pingwa, which is an Inuktitut word. We are a nonprofit. We work with primarily marginalized communities, but just everybody in terms of creating STEAM workshops and learning experiences. And Pingwa means play, so we like to incorporate a lot of fun into our learning experiences. So today we're going to look at incorporating multimedia and interactive elements into our classroom facilitation. Primarily, we're going to look at how to create, host, and manage a Zoom meeting effectively. We know that with virtual collaboration, there are always constant updates within Zoom. And I just want to make sure that we're not going to focus too long on that, but just to make sure that everybody's comfortable to ask questions or to annotate things if required, or even when you're facilitating. We're going to use engagement to feature the elements as well as to foster interaction. Also, a colleague of mine, she wasn't able to be here today, but her name is Aisha. She was also very instrumental in helping to put together this particular workshop, but unfortunately she was unable to attend today. And then we're going to look at the interactive tool that a lot of teachers are using, or facilitators, which is known as Edpuzzle, and how we can incorporate that into the instructional design process or in our classroom experiences. So first off, we'll start with Zoom. A colleague of mine, of ours, his name was Steve Blair. He put together this particular presentation. But in terms of the content, some of you may already be familiar with Zoom. Most of us are, but I know that there have had a lot of recent updates that some of us may not be familiar with. So I'm just going to start with that first. If you have any questions at any time, feel free to raise your hand in the Zoom chat, unmute. We're going to look at all those features. I'm just going to share my screen. So we're going to start with, as I mentioned, the introduction to Zoom. We won't take too long, but as we all know, Zoom does help to offer and enhance our online classrooms, right? And then we're going to go into Edpuzzle and look specifically at how to create accounts and how we can use that to create interactive or video-based learning experiences. So in terms of Zoom, just one moment here, I'm going to minimize that. Most of the buttons you'll need can be found at the bottom of your screen. You'll see the unmute if you want to ask a question, or if you have something to share. You can start your video if you'd like to be featured on camera. It'll also show how many participants we have. You can share your screen if there's something that you'd like the facilitator or a student to be able to see that's on your screen. Chat if you want to type something, closed captions, reactions, all that sort of stuff. So sometimes the buttons can disappear from your screen. Just move your mouse and hover over top, tap it, and it will appear. Just want to make sure everybody's comfortable. If you're unable to hear for any reason, you also have the option to click on the Join Audio tab, and it'll give you the option to join with either the audio from your computer. That was a way to ensure that you can hear the sound. So hopefully everybody could hear me okay. If you can't, just type in the chat and let us know. For all the subsequent workshops, we don't always start with Zoom, but just because this is the first one of many, we like to make sure everybody's comfortable. If you still can't hear and that option doesn't work with joining with the computer audio, you do have the option to call one of the numbers that show up in your location, enter that, and then listen and hear if you're able to talk via the phone. If you're connected to audio but still having trouble hearing other people, or even them hearing you, you may need to change your microphone or your speaker on Zoom using these different options, where you can go to select a microphone and select a speaker and test them out that way. We'll also be able to share this content with you for future if you need to troubleshoot anything. Sometimes it's totally helpful to have these things handy, because sometimes you may say, oh, I didn't realize you could do that on Zoom, or remember how to do it. And then in terms of video option, Zoom lets us turn our camera on, as we know, so that other people can see us. And you can also change what camera you're using. So if you see that stop video with that little down chevron, if you click it, I have the option here to select a VGA camera, my snap camera. I can blur my background or choose a virtual background. You can change a lot of your options with regards to your camera with that particular icon right there. And then you want to see who else is on Zoom, as we mentioned, the participants button. It's going to show you how many people are there inside of the virtual classroom or the virtual meeting with you. You can also change your name on Zoom if you'd like to. Oftentimes we have to be mindful, and just respectful of people's names, and we wish the same, so we can change the name that persons can see. Here I have Charisse Pinot Association. So while looking at your participants list, you can also manage the name so that everybody else can see you. If you just move your mouse over it, you'll be able to see all that information there. Also the other participants who are in attendance, pardon me. And then in terms of screen sharing, to help ensure that everybody can see what's up on your screen if you're teaching a classroom, or if you have something that you'd like to share during a presentation. Many of us are familiar with the share screen button. It's often in green. Once you have your host or your co-host privilege, or I should say not privilege, but access, once that's been granted, then you have the opportunity to share your screen. I'd rather use a word other than privilege. So once you have that access as a host or a co-host, you're able to share your screen. If you're going to choose something with video, make sure that when you share your screen, you have the option, or if it has sound, to click the button that says sound on as well. And then annotation. I know this has recently updated within Zoom, which is very helpful if you're facilitating with a classroom in a virtual learning experience. Pardon me, when someone's sharing their screen, other people can draw or add text for everyone to see. We call this annotating. So to start annotating, you would just click on view options, and then you would see annotate. Annotation is only available if both you and the other person are using the Zoom app. So in terms of annotating, it's often very, very helpful in terms of like people being able to, write on the screen and you being able to see that in real time. So I can do something here, type something, and then I can click undo. So say, for example, the other day, or I can clear all drawings. The other day we had a session that we were facilitating, and there was a map and everybody wanted to, there we go, we see Manisha annotating. You guys feel free to try it out. We had asked everybody, I think it was Steve at that time, to circle where they're from. So we were able to see everybody annotating. There we go. So I can, you can hover over, you can stamp something, all that sort of stuff. It's very, very helpful. And then the person who's the host, they can also clear, because if I was to go on to the next slide, whatever's been annotated is going to stay on the screen, and we don't want that, right? So I want to make sure that I'm clearing all the drawings. But as mentioned, to start annotating, you would just go to view options and then look for annotate. Here. It's always something that you can feel free to try. Drawing on a shared screen. So a new toolbar is going to appear with different drawing tools. The T lets you type on the screen when you're annotating. The pencil lets you draw. So if your learners are doing an activity where they have to collaborate, or sometimes you may be in a meeting and it's just faster if everybody just wants to type something, then when you go to the more options and you'd see the toolbar, you'd select the T. Everybody can type. Pencil, you can circle things. You can change the color so that each person knows, where their particular notes are. And then to remove everything, you would just use the trash can. So right here, there's annotate again. So here's the example. Can everybody see this, the toolbar?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. So you have text there, changing color, undo, redo, All of that information is right there for you. And it's totally helpful sometimes during certain activities, right? You don't have a pen and paper and everybody in the same room. Feel free to get everybody collaborating and writing in the community online using this particular function or tool. Any questions about this so far? Awesome. So this was the map activity where everybody was able to circle, but we're not going to do it today because we're going to get into Edpuzzle shortly. We are familiar with the Zoom chat. If not, it's just that icon that looks like a speech bubble. Once you type in it and hit enter, everyone will be able to see what you've typed, or you can send it to the message directly to a person specifically. You also have closed caption, which allows, it's artificially intelligent, so, or it uses artificial intelligence, I should say. So sometimes there are some mistakes that happen. I think Zoom is only familiar, yes, it was about 30 languages, but it gives everybody the opportunity to see what's being transcribed or written, but sometimes it does make mistakes, unfortunately. And then we have the reaction button if there's anything that you'd like to express via an emoticon or thumbs up, you have the option to do so with your emojis or your reactions. Your raise hand button as well. If there's something that isn't being said and you'd like to just interject or ask a question, feel free to use that feature right there. If you have a bad internet connection and you want to stop the recording, you can turn off the video by pressing stop video, or you can also turn off other people's video feed from coming to you. So you use the more button and you can stop the incoming video. So if you're noticing that if you stop your video and there's still some issues with like bandwidth or connectivity, try then stopping the incoming video feed, and that may help as well. And then you can reset things. And then if you want to leave at the end and everything is complete, there's the leave button, right? So it's usually a red button and it's able to remove you from the online meeting. So that was just a quick recap of Zoom. Hopefully we learned something new today. And we're going to go now into Edpuzzle. How many of us here, by a show of hands,